What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Mystic Watch, and today we got a brand new video. We're going to be doing a tier list, or kind of like a priority list, for units to max their ultimates out. Now this is, if that didn't make it enough sense, pretty much what I'm saying is which units, once you get their dupes, you have extra coins of them, do you save their coins or do you feed them in to max their ultimates? This is going to be following up yesterday's video on association units or link units. So if you guys don't know about that, make sure you check that video out first. That way you have a better understanding of why I'm even doing this, right? Because a lot of this has to, fills in with that. Before we get started, gotta drop the usual plugs. First of all, Discord is open. If you guys want to join the Discord community, link will be down below. I'm also recruiting for our second guild called 3 AM. East Coast reset time. You already know. Let's get it. But 3 AM is recruiting because what ended up happening is I had too many people that I wanted, even just among friends, that I wanted to make a guild with them, but it just wasn't possible, right? There's only 30 slots. So my main guild, Dishonor, that's going to stay my main guild. That's going to be for the super extreme competitive people. But there's a second guild being made with a little bit less, strictness or, not as serious, still competitive, but not like, gonna break your legs and kick you out if you don't donate 400 materials every day. So if you guys are interested in joining that, check out my Discord and check the announcements. Over there I made a post about, how to, or what are the requirements for joining that and how to go about it. Besides that, second plug is BlueStacks. I'm using my BlueStacks emulator to play the game without crashing. If you guys want to play on PC and you want to know what emulator I'm using, BlueStacks is the one. Affiliate link down below. If you click on it, it'll bring you to the BlueStacks download page, and then from there it'll actually have 7 Deadly Sins pre-downloaded on, or sort of, like you have to finish the installation, but you can play from there. Another thing is, people have been asking me about landscape. You can play the game with landscape there. I just prefer the game portrait mode because Sora made this nice overlay for me, and I really like using the overlay. I'm not a fan too much of the landscape, but I might use it during streams and things like that. Jumping into the video. Let's start off by going over the coin shop unit. Actually, let's explain the 2 reasons why you'd want to max someone's ultimate out. Reason number 1 is you simply want more damage. That's it. When you max an ultimate, each time you raise someone's ultimate level, you are increasing the damage on that move. You do not increase other effects. And for example, I will show you Meliodas. If I go to Meliodas' ultimate move, you can see here that says stuns for 1 turn. That stuns for 1 turn will never become stuns for 2 turns, no matter how many dupes you feed into him. The ultimate simply increases the damage and that's it. Now, that being said, the other reason, well, there's also healers. So, for example, if you upgrade this like Elizabeth, she'll heal more. But she doesn't, because she has no damage on her move. The other reason, and this is where my association/link unit guide comes in, is because of these people. You max them out because of these guys in particular. And why is that? Quick little overview. If you were to use any random link, you would gain 5% stats. You gain an additional 1% stats per ultimate move level. You can see here that if I were to hover over my SR Meliodas, he gives me 8% stats. He has 8% stats given because of the fact that he has 3 dupes fed into him. This goes up to a maximum of 10% when you have max ultimate. So that gives you 2 main reasons to max out someone's ultimate. 1, they are key association or link units and you need to get the value out of them, because you can see here that there are certain units that have like the special symbols on them. If they have the symbol, they give an extra effect. If they have the swords as well as the symbol, they will give an extra effect on top of changing the actual ultimate. They do not change the effect. The only effect that ever gets changed is Gother's, I think, where he steals 3 ultimate gauge, and if you pair him with a Fate unit, you pair him with King, he then steals 5. He doesn't steal, he like removes 3 or removes 5. But besides that, I think he's like the only exception. Every Fate ultimate partner will increase the damage only. That is it. So they change the move, you get your little team attack going on, but all it does is increase the damage. This means that people with a Fate Link, when I say Fate Link, these are the ones that change the ultimate. People with a Fate Link, in particular, have a high priority on maxing them out. But, you know, sometimes you just don't know who to max out when. You know, there's 3 Griamores on your screen. Which one do I max out? You know, there's like 42 Meliodases at some point. Which one do I max out first? How do I know what the difference is between if I should max out someone or if I shouldn't max out someone? So to start off, we're going to be showcasing, and I have a tier list made as well that I'm going to show off in a second. If I hop over to JP, and we go over to the coin shop units in particular have a higher precedence on maxing them out. And when I refer to coin shop units, let's also open it up here. Coin shop units are units that can only be purchased from the coin shop. So these two are not coin shop units. They are in the coin shop, but they are not coin shop exclusive units, because these people you can just pull from regular banners. This DN, however, you cannot pull from a regular banner. If you ever wanted to get more copies of her, you would have to buy her with 7 coins, but eventually she will end up on this rotation and be purchasable for 5 coins. So let me show you which coin shop units are coming out. Starting next week, we should get Ban, Gother, then I believe it'll go into DN, followed by Meliodas, then Merlin, and then it starts off with King. So that's like, those are the 6 units. Escanor is here, but Escanor comes in a lot later into the story. These 6 are originally in the game. Like when JP came out, within the first week, you know, they were in the game. It was first started off with King, then it went into Ban, Gother, Diane, Meliodas, Merlin. Or Merlin, Meliodas. I don't know the last 2 ordering. But, you know, week after week, it just kept on rotating, one after the other. So starting next week, most likely is when we'll get to see Ban, and then we'll see the cycle start. So that's why I wanted to prepare you guys for which units to max out. Now, maxing out units, this is not the same thing as my video with the coin shop priority list or the coin shop tier list. That I was just assuming you were going to buy only 1 copy of the unit, which unit to get first. This is now we're talking about you have an abundance of coins and you want to know who to max out first with their ultimates. That's where we're going to be taking this into account. So I showed you that King. We'll actually go, let's hop over to here, right? And I already have the list made for the most part, but none of this makes sense without context. So to show you which units are coin shop units from here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This King is the free-to-play King we get on Chapter 3. This DN is the free-to-play DN we get on Chapter 4. The other 4 units will be only in the coin shop. However, Global might be doing something different where they release the unit as a banner first, and then once the banner leaves, it'll end up in the coin shop. They did this with Escanor on JP when they released him. They might do the same with all the units here on Global because we have them data mined. You know, their banners already data mined. So keep in mind that is probably what's going to end up happening. They won't get added to the general pool, so if you miss their banner, you won't be able to summon for them, but you will be able to buy them with coins. All the units will be 5 coins when on sale, or 7 coins at any given moment, you know, if you're impatient and you want to buy them. So to start off, which units do you max first because of their ultimate strength? You need to max these units out because you need a really, really strong version of their ultimate for PvP, for story, for some reason. King and Gother take the highest precedence in this. King over Gother. Because King's ultimate is an AoE absolute nuke that destroys everything. If you take him on PvP, you can see that he does a decent amount of damage. But if I were to show you on JP, like how much damage he actually does, let's go over to King. And we can take a look that he does 720% damage, where currently it is 420% if you do not have a Fate Link and you do not have any dupes into him. So you're almost doubling the ultimate damage once you max out everything associated with it. So King, must have, is just absolute nuke, one-shots everyone. Gother follows him up, where Gother's ultimate is not as strong in terms of damage, but because he removes ultimate gauge, it's a really good ultimate, and once you max it out, it actually hits very hard. So these two are you must prioritize these two units for your coin shop purchasing of ultimates. This is assuming you have one copy of everyone first. That matters before anything else, and you're going back and now you're like, okay, I bought everyone once, what do I do now? Now you start maxing in this order. So that's the super high god priority, whatever you want to call it. Then must have units. Merlin. We have a red Merlin in the game, but keep in mind that Merlin does not have an SR version even to this day on JP, which means, and this is tying back to the association unit video, that she is a fate partner for Demon Meliodas and Escanor. So without a Merlin attached to either one of those two, you will not be able to use their enhanced ultimate. And because there's no SR version, there's no easy or cheap way for you to get it. So this is the only consistent way to get a good Merlin partner, is you simply just buy copies of her every time you can. The same thing applies to Demon Meliodas, except that he doesn't really have a fate link. He just has a, he's just a good partner for certain people. That's it. But he doesn't have a bonus like ultimate effect on anyone as of now. Jericho is going to be the first unit that is a banner unit that we're talking about. She is the hardest hitting nuker in the entire game for like the next, Derriere came out a month ago in Japan, and JP has been out for almost 9 months now. So we have a long time before someone takes the throne off of Jericho for best nuker. Expect her, at least for the next half year or 7 months, to be the best nuker in the game, and even then, even when Derriere comes out, Jericho still has her spots to be used. Jericho is must-have. I made a video on taking her onto Demon Hendrickson, the blue one, and I just kill him with Jericho. It does like 150k nuke. And I was like, oh, okay. Keep in mind that he only has 250k HP. So it's a lot of damage. She is in the coin shop next week. Make sure you buy a copy of her when she comes out for 20 SR coins. Even if you own her, buy her feed a dupe in. Please. If you don't own her, must buy. I'm going to be talking about the SSRs first before I go into the SRs. Diane is, free-to-play Diane is one of the strongest units early game, but ends up falling off as more units get released. And even though she has an amazing ultimate that is also a nuke, just AoE massive damage, you don't really use her that much. She's never a bad unit, but she's also like not that important. So it's like once you max out these guys from the coin shop, these 4, then the Diane is perfectly fine to max out. Besides that, what are these two Dianes doing here? The same reason why I explained with Merlin, that Merlin is the fate partner to Meliodas and Escanor. This Diane, not this one, these two Dianes are the fate partner to King. The small Diane, right? So we have Matrona Diane, and this is like martial artist or kung fu Diane. These two are King's fate partner. There is no SR version of King's fate partner, meaning you need an SSR Diane to get the maximum value out. So you want to max out one of these first. Which one? Literally does not matter. Whichever one you get first, just max that one out. As time goes on, these are banner units, so you're not going to see them in the shop unless they magically rotate in. But just pick one of these units, and whenever, and tell yourself, like, whenever I pull a copy of this unit, I'm going to feed the dupe in. And that's the strategy that I used on JP to max out this Diane in particular. I just pulled her first, and I decided, okay, this is the Diane I'm going to max out. That was it. There was no other reasoning behind it. Now, let's skip down to this section over here. These are units that are all good to max out, but none of them are necessary. Like, if you max these out, you're maxing these out because you're a whale. You're maxing these out because you have nothing better to do. But if you're free to play, there's no reason to max these out. These are people that, having their ultimates maxed out just does a lot more damage, and they're going to be useful in key points, but they're not, like, so broken that you need to max them out or have to bother with it. Now, let's talk about this. Good units but have an SR version. So, now we're talking about units where their ultimate damage is irrelevant, but we want them because they are key fate partners to units that we use all the time. Arthur is Merlin's partner, Griamore is Diane's partner, Hauser is Gilthunder's partner. Hauser also is like here, because his ultimate, he is a strong unit on his own, so you don't really use him for fate partner, but he has like a dual, you know, he is a fate partner to Gilthunder, but is also a really strong unit on his own. And then Gilthunder has an SR version. He is I have no idea whose fate partner he is. Let's go take a look. Gilthunder. I'm doing this backwards, where okay. No, but whose fate partner is he to? I gotta figure that out at some point. But not that important to max him out. Actually, I'm gonna put him down here. Really not that important. I think he's... Oh, I think I have it backwards. Gilthunder is Hauser's fate partner. That's what it is. My bad. But, moving forward, why do I have these units here? And why does this matter? They have SR versions. It's because, even though SSRs have higher base stats, they are not as important because, you know, it does matter. Like, if you're trying to min-max and you're trying to get maximum value, an SSR will always be a better choice as a fate partner than an SR, assuming you have the same amount of dupes into them. But in reality, the chances of you getting multiple dupes of SSRs are significantly less than getting multiple dupes in an SR. So you take that small loss in base stats for the realistic assumption that I can max out any SR relatively easily. So because of that, we have these units up here, and here, and here. Start off with Gilthunder. Gilthunder is just a really strong unit, so he has like a dual purpose where you max out his ultimate because you're going to be either using him all the time, you know, for raids or PvP, but when you're not using him, because you invested into him, he makes a super strong partner. Then you have Gustav, who, same concept, you're going to be using him a lot, and because you invested into him, he's going to be a super strong partner, but at the same time, he is Helbrum's fate partner. And when Red Helbrum comes out, this Gustav is his, you know, you need to max this Gustav out. There is no SSR version of Gustav, but he's like high priority. This Elizabeth is priority simply because of Red Demon. Like, you don't need Red Demon runs taking 30 minutes to do, so max out our ultimate so you can actually do the runs a lot faster. Then to start off, I have Arthur down here because Merlin, you know, Coin Merlin isn't out yet, so it's like, yes, it matters to max him out, but you don't need to rush at this exact second. Then we have the two Griamores. They're functioning the same way as these two Dianes are, where you need the two, either one of the two Griamores is fine, it doesn't matter which one you use. Then we have Gila. Gila is Jericho's fate partner, and you need it because Jericho needs a, you know, maximize her possible nuke damage. Now, keep in mind that I have this Jericho down here, this Gila down here, because there's a Halloween Gila that comes out, free to play, and you're able to buy all 6 dupes of her with, you know, as a free to play player. Without having to spend a single dollar, you are able to pick up all of her dupes, or all copies of her. So eventually, you will have an SSR Gila that takes that spot. But for now, just use an SR Gila. No reason to waste platinum coins on her, because she's not that good overall. Really strong healer, you're going to use her a lot, max her out. Then these people are just good, like substitutes. The Jericho is Bond's partner, but besides that, like, you're already maxing out this one as a high priority. That's why I have these two down here, because it doesn't really matter. Like, as long as you're maxing out these, you know, this Jericho in particular, these two don't matter. As for the Meliodas just gives, like, he will not give a fate partner to anyone, but he usually gives some sort of bonus effect, and it's just a strong unit to max out because you use them as a free-to-play unit as well. Bond is the same thing. It's just a good unit to max out. You'll use them a lot in story mode or in you know, Training Cave when it comes out. Don't worry about what that is if you don't know. And Wineheart, same concept. Strong unit. You'll use him a decent amount. He's a good AoE farmer. Having his ultimate also helps out. So that pretty much wraps up everything. I didn't explain the Bond. The Bond is here because he is a single target ultimate, and his damage doesn't go up that high when you max it out. He's like the last priority for ultimate that you want to max out. Really not that important. Don't worry about him. He is going to be a coin shop unit. He's going to be a high priority to pick up, but his ultimate damage is irrelevant. Not that important. And then everyone down here, you're going to end up maxing out every rare unit at some point, just because they don't add any more rare units and you get a billion coins of them. So you'll max them out. And then the rest of these guys are not that important to max out. Eventually, like I have every single SR unit maxed out, and I still have plenty of SR coins on JP left over. And then these SSRs just don't even bother maxing out their ultimate. You're wasting time. Hopefully that explains, you know, my philosophy on maxing out units. It is a longer video, but I wanted to make sure I'm giving you reasoning behind every single one of these choices. If that helps you guys out, leave a like down below, comment something, I don't care what, just make me feel happy. I love you all. Peace out, see you in the next one.